Hi, welcome to Bonita's Kitchen and thank you for joining us. What I'm going to be making today is a delicious batch of peach crumbles. And this recipe today is a viewer's request, so I thank them for sending it. And I'm excited to show you how it's made. It's made by fresh peaches. You can also use frozen. So let's get started. So what we're going to be starting with first is blanching our peaches. Like I was saying, you could use frozen peaches if you wish, and I have got some already frozen in my freezer for later in the winter. But right now I'm going to start blanching these in boiling hot water and then shocking them into coal. So I'm going to show you that. So what we'll be doing is putting 2 peaches at a time into boiling hot water, and we're just going to be leaving them there to blanch. What I mean by blanching is just lightly cooking the outside to easily take off the peels for 1 minute. So we're just going to pop the cover on there, and then I'll show you what's next. So then after your minute is up, what you're going to do is take your peaches out of the water bath and put it into the cold water bath. So basically what you're doing there now is just shocking these, and that's just to help get the peel off just a little bit easier. So what we're going to do now is start peeling those peaches. So pretty much what I'm doing here now is going to take off the skin. So once you got that blanching over with, you take the skin off easier, and most times it just peels off, and then you don't have to worry about peeling it. So just keep a nice sharp knife, stick it in under it and start peeling it back. So I got the other 3 peaches out there now, and I'm going to peel them, and then we just need about 3 cups for this recipe, but you can use as much peaches as you want. Of course, the thicker the filling, the better you might like it. All right, so let's do that. Okay, so I'm on the last peach here now, and as you can see, you can just peel it off, like it'll just skin back like this when you got that blanching done, and it makes it easier, and then you're not wasting any of your peaches. So that's it for that. So all I need to do now is cut these into little chunks. We're going to be putting it into our dipper, and making a filling is really the same as what you would do for making a jam, a peach jam, and this filling is going to be the inner layer of our peach crumbles. So let's do that. So all you need to do now is, after you got them peeled, is take chunks like this of the peaches right down to the stone. Every little bit, it doesn't matter, you just chunk it off. And then once I got these chunked, I'm going to be dumping it into that little saucepan. So that's it for that. So on a medium heat, your little saucepan, pour in all of the peaches. Now we're going to be putting in a cup of sugar. So that's 5 peaches, which is probably 3 to 4 cups of peaches. Then we're going to be using about a teaspoonful to a tablespoonful of lemon juice, and you can eyeball that. I got it upwards so I can keep the stones from going out there. I got one popped in there now. I'll take that one out. Now we're going to let this start to boil. Everything will condense, and then I'll show you what I'll do with it next. So when you see your peaches starting to bubble like this, take a masher, and this will be just a little quicker for you. Mash the peaches in so that it just breaks them down, help them cook along just that little bit more. So you can continue doing that until it condenses down fully. So what we'll do while we're waiting for that is make our crumbles for our peach crumbles. Okay, so this is coming along nice here now. What we're going to do is make the crumble part for our peach crumbles. We're going to be using flour, we're going to be using coconut, unsweetened coconut. We're going to be using baking powder, butter, and sugar. As I put it into the bowl, I'll tell you how much of each one. So what we're going to do is put our dry ingredients into the bowl first. There's going to be 2 cups of already sifted flour. We're going to have 2 cups of unsweetened coconut, and if you want to use sweetened coconut, that's fine. Pour that on in there. We're going to be using 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. Just toss that on in there. And now I'm going to mix it around. Okay, so I'm just going to mix this around, and of course 1 teaspoonful of baking powder, and just toss that on in there. So we're just going to incorporate all of it together, because all we're going to do with this next is add in 1 cup of melted butter. But I need to get to my pot with the peaches so you can see, or we both can see where they are going. Okay, so as you can see, they're coming along nice. Now what you need to do as well with these cooked peaches, which, like I said, pretty much what we're doing here now is making a jam. You got to have it cool before you use it on this filling. So if you can do this in advance, maybe the night before or sometime within your day, it doesn't matter. And that way you got this ready for when you go to make your peach crumbles. But today I wanted to show you it all together. So pretty much what I'm doing here now is, again, speeding up the process by mashing it so it don't take so long for it to condense. And that's all I'm doing there. So what we're going to do next is put 1 cup of melted butter or margarine into your dry ingredients. So you're just going to pour that on in there, because we're going to blend all this together now and make crumbles. So you're just going to mix it on in. I'll do it with the spoon first, and then I'm probably going to use my masher and then my hand. So pretty much that's all we need to do with our peaches. You can see there, you can still see some of the chunks. We want that in there. Now, I mean, unless you want it that it's just smooth, that's fine. But if you're going to be making your peach crumbles, you probably want to taste the peaches in there. So before I take it off the heat, I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon zest. And then I'm going to take it off the heater and let it cool. So before we get back into the crumbles, I'm going to be pouring out the peach filling, which is again really a jam, and put it into this bowl so it would start to cool, because we can't put it into our filling until this totally cooled down. So I'm probably going to put it on ice just to snap it. And now back to this here, our crumble. Use your hand now just to work the rest of that butter in through until it's got like just this texture. Now this is ready to be put into a square pan. Okay, so if you're making yours the same day, your filling and your crumbles, get some ice and put your peaches on the top of it, because we want these peaches now to cool down fast, because when we put it into our filling, when we put the filling into the crumbles, I should say, I don't want it to be cooking in there before we bake it. So I'm just going to put this off to the side, and you can see it's absolutely delicious. And I got a square pan with a piece of parchment paper inside. You could use any type of pan. This is a silicone one, but you could use any type. The reasons for the parchment paper is to help bring it out of the square pan, put it onto your counter so you can cut it properly. So I'm going to show you now what I'm going to do next. So pretty much all we're going to do here now is take our crumbles and put into our pan, our square pan. Now, what you need to do there now is kind of half it, or just a little bit more for the bottom than the top, because the top you don't need it as thick as the bottom when you're making these crumbles. So pretty much, let's see now if that's going to be enough. So you're going to put it into the bottom, you're going to press it down like this. Need a bit more. Like I said, the bottom needs to be a little bit bigger than what you need on the top, because you don't press the top down, you just sprinkle it over and just have a nice texture to it. So that's pretty much all we need to do there. Okay, so let's pat it down nice like that. I'll put this to the side. Now if you're going to be using a silicone pan, I would urge you to use a cookie sheet in under it, because a silicone pan is just not easy to maneuver. So if you got it on a cookie sheet or anything that is oven safe, then that's perfect. I'm going to put this to the side, and now I'm going to pull in the filling, and then we'll get all of our peach filling put into our square pan and get those peach crumbles going. Okay, so here comes the fun part of putting these delicious peach crumbles together. We're going to be taking our filling, which again, like I said, is a jam. You can do the same technique if you want to make yourself a nice batch of peach jam, and just layer it evenly in the bottom part of the filling in the bottom part of the crumbles, so it's evenly put in there. And then you're just going to spread it out like this until it's all even. So you're just going to push it off to the sides. If you want it to be noticed more on the sides when you go to cut it, push it to the sides a little bit more so it's a little thicker there. But it doesn't matter, because when you cut into it, you're going to be seeing what it looks like after it's cut anyway. So that's all you need to do there, is just put your filling down and spread it out, and that's your peach filling. So pretty much all you're going to do now is take your crumbles and just sprinkle over the top like this. Now we're not pushing this down, we're leaving it with this texture where you can see it like that, and that's the way it's going to bake. It's going to be nice and delicious. This is one of my favorite squares, or I should say crumbles. It's not squares, but I love making this any time of the year, any occasion. But these are made at Christmas time by many of Newfoundland and Labrador people. And that's how quick and easy it is to make these peach crumbles. So what we're going to do next is preheat our oven to 350 degrees and put these in there for 30 minutes. I only want a light golden brown on it. You don't need to overbake it because you don't want it to burn. That's the wonder in parchment paper too. It helps that from burning. So luckily for us, we got one made in advance, because when you take it out of the oven, you got to let it cool for probably another 30 minutes or more before you cut it. So I got one made here in advance. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, so this is our peach crumbles made in advance that have been cooling now for way over probably an hour. So what I'm going to do now is cut out some pieces, show you what it looks like on the inside. Now it's up to you what size you want for your peach crumbles to be. You can kind of gauge it across, maybe make 5 across and the same on the other side, or you can just do it the way I'm doing it, cut it, and every one of them got a different size, because it doesn't matter to me when I'm cutting these. So I'm just going to show you now. Just look how delicious these peach crumbles are. I'm going to put a couple of them on this tray here now so you can see what they look like. Now I hope I've made you so excited to make these today. Just look at them. They're delicious. You can smell the coconut just coming up around my nose here. And I know Raymond is waiting to have one of these here now. So what I'm going to do is get myself a cup of tea and have a taste of these delicious peach crumbles. So look how easy it is to make these delicious peach crumbles. And this parchment paper serves a definite best interest to pull it out of the pan, put it onto your cotton board, and then you're able to cut it nice. So what I'm going to do now is have a taste of these delicious peach crumbles. Tell you what they taste like. So soft and tender. Tons of filling on the inside. And those peaches just pop. I don't taste the lemon, but the lemon's supposed to offset the sweetness and give it that little bit of citrus. I'm just going to have a taste of my tea. So, I hope our viewer that requested these delicious peach crumbles today are excited to make them as I was when I got the recipe. So if you're interested in making these as well, the recipe is posted below this video. Also a subscribe button, you can hit the link and it'll prompt you every time we send a new recipe to YouTube. You will get a notification. So as well, you can visit us on our Facebook page. You can send us a message on www.bonitaskitchen.com, and don't forget that you can bake these in 30 minutes or less, and you got these delicious peach crumbles. So I'm excited to get back into finishing my little peach crumble there. So thank you again for visiting us on Bonita's Kitchen, from our kitchen to yours. You have a wonderful day.